Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. When you're a politician and you have to change the end completion date of a project by over a year, that's often quite embarrassing. And for the Grand Mufti and Mike Russell, that's exactly what they've had to do. Mind you, Mike Russell doesn't really care. He's sort of the erstwhile, or soon to be erstwhile, I think, president of the SNP. Not sure if he's stood down yet or he's about to, but it's times. These times they are a changing for him. He's getting a nice little safe job in government, well away from the party, because when the party goes under, he'll lose his wages, won't he? Never mind, Michael. Not that he's without controversy himself. He's a bit of a bully, apparently. He had that business a few years ago with the schools. Can't remember exactly what it was. He's trying to manipulate which schools close or something to benefit him. Somebody please remind me what that was in the comments. I remembered something to do with that. And he said, was it Glasgow smells of piss or something, was another one of his. What a lovely man he is. What a real boon for Scotland. Anyway, the A82, big problem. No, not the A82. The A83, big problems. And of course it needs to be sorted. And he's just the man to do it, apparently. Or not. Because it's now going to take an extra year. And an awful lot more money. How hard can it be? Let's have a look at the story, see what's going on. Here goes. Now, I had a slip of the tongue saying A82 because, of course, when we go up, often we use the A82, especially when we're going to Inverness, we use the A82. It's a beautiful road. I think the A82 is probably one of the most beautiful roads, not just in Scotland, but in the world. I think it's an absolute joy. It just when you go up there and you go through the Great Glen, you've got the mountains on either side of you, you do that, and you get to the bottom, and then you've got the three locks all the way up into Inverness. It's a stunning road. But if we're going to Oban, I mean, frequently we hit we stick up the A82 still, but then you get, was it Crean Larrick? What's the next one? Tyndrum. Normally when you go to Oban, you turn left at Tyndrum, don't you? But occasionally before that, we take the A83 past the Rest and Be Thankful, and that as well. If ever you're going anywhere and you want a little drive, beautiful area, the A83 when you turn off left at to go up to Oban that way, take the A83, stunning road. It's a bit loopy, and then you have to go up like a little kind of almost a country track to get back up onto the. Oh, come on, brain, you can do this. A85, it is, and it runs you into Oban, but it is absolutely worth the extra time, effort, and fuel, I suppose. Stunning. It is absolutely stunning. Beautiful road, but you can't go up it now. You can't go up because back in October there's the storms and all that. Massive road closures, the whole thing's collapsed, there was landslides, and so the road's closed. And it's going to cost millions and take a long time to do this repair, to fix it all. They were promised that they could do it by the end of 2026, and now, or by some point in 2026, and now they're having to delay it back to the end of 2027, because apparently things are hard. You don't want to be anyone who lives up that way and needs to use the road, would you? Otherwise you've got a massive loop around. You'd have to almost go like that to get around. It's going to cost you a fortune in fuel, or what, another 2 hours journey? Who knows? It's just, this is what happens when lunatics are allowed to make decisions and they really don't know what they're doing. Anyway, we'll get into it. No, you don't want to be bothered about my things. Anyway, Humza Yousaf and Mike Russell embarrassed as the SNP delay Rest and Be Thankful upgrade. And that's why we go. And if ever you stop at the Rest and Be Thankful when the road's back open again. Beautiful sight. Looking down over the lock and that. Anyway, developments on one of Scotland's longest and most stunning roads has been delayed by a year, prompting concerns over another broken commitment. It's become crystal clear that the SNP ministers will fall short of a promise made by their former party president, he has actually resigned now then, and Nat Grandee, Mike Russell. He said the project on the dangerous road should be finished by May 2026 at the latest. However, the Scottish Government has since had to admit that it won't. It will be the late 2027 at the earliest. Dearie me. So we're going to run into 2028, isn't it? The project along the A83, Rest and Be Thankful spot in Argyll and Bute, has been closed many times in recent years after heavy rains triggered mud and rock slides. This covering the route in earth and debris. But when it is open, it is stunning. Locals and councillors say the £90 million of work that has taken place so far is no more than a band-aid solution. Failure to complete the long-term solution often leads to a 60-mile detour for drivers. I knew it was a big old loop. You have to go all the way round. because roads are very thin, very few and far between when you're out in the sticks up there. But you know, the things you see are absolutely marvellous. A 2021 message to the then Cabinet Secretary for Transport, Islands and Connectivity, Michael Matheson. So there we go. That explains why it's been so badly done. He's failing in health. He failed in transport, didn't he? And the then MSP, Mike Russell, but Michael, they're giving him a very formal name there, aren't they? Michael, it's always Mike. Anyway, said that a replacement road must be agreed, planned and constructed and opened by May 2026 at the latest. Fat chance. You got the SNP rowing things. What do you think's going to happen? Is it going to be delayed? Is it going to come in way over budget? Is it going to be shoddy? Is it going to be any good? Come on, it's the SNP. He said the road is absolutely critical for the movement of goods and people, and it plays a vital part in all aspects of life in Argyll and Bute, from economy to education and employment opportunities and tourism. It's a road that gets people to go up it, to get to places, to stay, to spend money, especially in small rural areas. They need that tourist dollar. And, you block your main route there. That's costing people their livelihood. I got a place. I stayed in Kinlochleven. No, it's not. It's Kintolan or something. It's up Ardnamurchan, near Ardnamurchan Point, and it's. I didn't realise till I was driving it. It's a volcano, and wow, it actually looks like a volcano. Definitely worth the seeing. It's a bit further up, but it's Scotland's. Great Britain, the islands, westernmost point. There you go. Anyway, the pace of the action must match the urgency of the situation, and that is why we are calling for a new route to be put in place in the life of the next Parliament, and no later, they said. Well, 2027 is later. It's not in this Parliament. This will be Labour finishing the road, it seems, and it'll be Anna Sawar going out there and cutting the ribbon and letting the first cars ruzz along it, going woohoo, toot toot, and away they go. Certainly won't be the SNP. They won't be in power in 2027, will they? They've had long enough to fix this road, and if it takes 5 years and they still haven't done it, man, they are bad, aren't they? The pace of the action, he said, must match the urgency of the situation, and that's why they're doing it. Probing questions prompted the current Transport Minister, Fiona Hislop. God help us, Fiona. I'm sure you mean well, dear, but the only roads you're interested in are the ones that run straight down to Greg's, aren't they? She detailed design and assessment of the preferred solution should be concluded by the end of 2024, with construction then taking 3 to 4 years after that. It's a road. It shouldn't take 3 to 4 years. What is wrong with you? It only takes that because politicians continually interfere and change things. It's not the sort of thing that should take that long. Literally should not take that long. Scottish Conservative West of Scotland MSP Pam Gozal said, this new response makes it crystal clear that the SNP government will miss the deadline set by their own former party president by several years. It's going to be 2028, if not even 2029, the way they're talking about building. It's just a joke, isn't it? Anyway, the slow pace and repeat delays for the SNP have not matched the urgency of the situation, they say, and it is an embarrassing situation for the Grand Leader and his ex-SNP president, who was also the local MSP. Never mind. Another failure, soul destroying for the people, very costly economically for the people, but he don't care. He's off for a nice little job in government and doesn't have to worry about whatever happens to the SNP now. He must be 70 odd. How old is he, do you reckon? 72, something like that? He should resign, or retire even. He should retire. Let someone else have a go. Because no doubt that wherever he goes now, he'll cock that up as well. I shall come up. I feel sorry for the people who have to put up with this. Anyone living out there in that West Ayrshire coast area who has to rely on the A83, you're absolutely buggered, aren't you? And this road is... when they're doing it, you've got to think, they're going to take 5 years to build this thing. That's 5 years of road closures, of lights, of temporary traffic lights, of diversions. And why? It's a job that should have been finished already. It's a job that needed doing. They've admitted it back in 2021. If Matheson back in 2021 wasn't tossing off on an iPad back then, he could have had this job finished. You wouldn't be sitting here today worried about this. This is the whole point, though, isn't it? Anyway, I will finish there. Thank you very much for watching. Do keep up. There's lots to go. And I've just seen something in the comments, which I will mention at the beginning of the next video. And I want to say, I will do the thank you at that point, because I've finally got the name. I finally found it. But do keep watching. Anyway, till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.